For this series of videos, I wanted to do some doodling ideas for you because so many people think that doodling is not an art and is not drawing. But to me, that couldn't be further from the truth, because when you're doodling, you actually figure out what your line style is, how you like to draw, what things you like to draw. For instance, I have always, since I can remember, doodled, and I've mostly doodled leaves and vines and roses and flowers. And so actually that shows up in almost all of my art. I have to make myself not do flowers for art. So anyway, I feel like this is a good way for you to play around with line. Just use your imagination, trying different shapes, trying different doodles. And the thing is, once you start doodling, you can turn off your mind and just let yourself unwind, relax. You can sing, you can think, whatever you want to do. And so I believe that doodling and even watercoloring is a meditative practice. So this series of videos, I'm going to start out with some doodlings, and I'm going to just talk a little bit at the beginning to show you what I'm doing, and then I'm going to do it all the rest in time lapse so that you don't have to sit here and watch me in real time, but you can get the gist of the video and then practice for yourself and just spend that time meditating or just letting your mind unravel. If your mind is like mine, sometimes it's so tangled up, knotted up, that I just need to let it unravel. So all I'm using is just simple copy paper. You can do this on copy paper, you can do this on notebook paper, you can do it in your journal. Whatever you want to do is fine. I would suggest having a thicker black permanent pen and a thinner one. I've got a Sharpie fine point. A Sharpie extra fine point would be great too. I just don't have any, but I'm going to use this Pigmographic. It's like a micron pen, but it's a thicker point. And then I'm going to use this micron. I'm not going to use them all together, but I will probably shift back and forth between a thicker line and a thinner line because it just makes everything so cool. So anyway, I'm going to start out with waves. I think these are really cool. They look organic. They can look like hair or waves on the ocean or leaves and petals. So you can make yours any which way you want. So basically, I'm going to start by just drawing some squiggly lines. There is no rhyme or reason, just waves on my paper. And then what I'm going to do, start at this point, follow the curve of that line. Doesn't have to be perfect. And I'm going to speed up the video in just a moment because I'm doing this a little faster than I'd actually like to. Normally, I think I would like to go this slow, just to let it be a little bit more relaxing. So see how slow I'm going with that. And then I would actually come down here maybe, and I'm going to fill all that in. But then I would come over here and follow that line. I think I actually want to come in here and fill this in. So I'm going to fill my entire piece of paper up, but I'm going to do it in time lapse, and then we'll be right back. All right, so there is my wave line doodles. And I am looking, as I'm drawing it, I'm thinking, oh, this looks like a petal. This looks like a corn husk. This looks like a hosta leaf. Sometimes it might look like swirls of hair. Sometimes it might look like the waves on the ocean or the effects in the sand after a wave rolls back into the ocean. So it's really fun to do this. So that is our first in this series of doodling, and I call this the wavy doodle. So play around with that. You'll notice that it's very three-dimensional. It looks like it overlaps, especially because you bring back, a lot of times you just come back to that same point. And in these areas, it gets darker. So it looks like they're weaving in and out and overlapping. So this is so much fun. I cannot wait for you to try this.